more. Please don't make me ask. Get your hands together. Interview for Mike Freedman.
Thank you. Oh my God, I love falling, sexy jazz music guy. Yeah. Now you got nerdy Jewish guy. That is a perfect thing to come up next. That's what you want, nerdy Jewish guy. Do we have any other Jews here tonight? We got one over there. That's it. That just gave me a cheers. You're not even Jewish. You're like shaking his head no. Jewish. Yeah, I can tell. That's why you answered the question. Real Jews know not to answer that question. Somebody walks into a room and says, "Are there any Jews here?" We shut the fuck up. We don't. Historically, that never worked out for us. We don't answer that question, and now we learned a little bit. All right, good. I stopped smoking weed. I don't smoke weed anymore. Don't put me. I stopped because it's making me dumb. When I smoke weed, I get dumb. Like the last time I smoked, I was at home. I was on my couch, and I heard the fire alarms in my house were making this chirping noise, and I didn't know what that meant. So then I went online and I typed into Google, "Why are my fire alarms going off?" You know how stupid you feel Googling, "Why are my fire alarms going off?" You know how many other people have also searched, "Why are my fire alarms?" I didn't even have to finish typing it. Google already knew what I was looking for. I got to "Why are my," and Google was like, "Fire alarms?" Is it going off? Is it hot in there? What's going on? It's like, yeah, it is kind of hot. Thank you, Google. I needed that help right there in that moment. That's why I like Google, because it already knows what we're looking for before we type anything. And I found out it's because it collects all of our data. That's why it already knows. It has our data. And I had a buddy that was like, "Don't use Google, you should use DuckDuckGo instead." I don't know, has anyone here used DuckDuckGo? If you don't know, it's like Google. It searches the internet, but it doesn't collect any of our data. And it also doesn't work. Turns out that data stuff is great. Take my data. I'm not using it. I don't know what to do with it. Google's doing a great job with it. I can't eat it or fuck it. So I don't know what am I supposed to do with my data. That's how it's doing everything. When you use DuckDuckGo, it's just useless stuff. Like I went on DuckDuckGo and I typed in, "Who was that guy in that movie with the weird hair?" And then DuckDuckGo was like, "Michael Berryman." Who's Michael Berryman? DuckDuckGo is like asking your grandma something. It's like, "Michael Berryman, you remember him?" But then I looked it up. Michael Berryman, bald, no hair at all. I went to Google. It was like Steven Seagal. I was like, "Thank you." That was the guy. Thank you, Google, because it works. It has the information. It knows what we're looking for. DuckDuckGo, you're on your own. There's no suggested search. There's no help at all. It turns out I don't know how to spell or complete sentences. This whole time it was data doing that. I thought it was me. I have a hard time spelling. It's hard for me, you know? Like, I was looking through my phone and I realized that every time I've texted somebody over the last 4 years, the word "definitely," I've actually been texting them the word "defiant." Every single time. I went through. Someone's like, "Are you good to meet up at 6 p.m.? I was like, "Defiantly." I will be there, whether or not you like it. I will be there. Languages are hard for me. I struggle with them. I should be better. I studied it a lot when I was a kid. I didn't do well, but I studied it a lot. I had a lot of chances. Like, I took 5 years of French, and I failed every single year of French class. I still did it 5 times. I kept going, because they were always like, "Oh, you're so close, let me move you up to save you from embarrassment." And I was like, "Oh, this is not embarrassing at all. I'm in French 4, I have to write a paper, 2 pages in French on what I would do if I spent a day in Paris." And I was like, "What would I do?" I would say bonjour to everybody in town. That's all I can do. I don't know. Bonjour. Au revoir. That's all I got. I failed. I took Italian after that. I failed it. I took a year of Spanish. I failed that. I failed a year of English class when I was in high school. I thought I had that one down. I thought I knew English. I defiantly thought I had English down. But I don't. I failed it. should know so many languages. I lived in China. I lived in mainland China for 3 years. Yeah, and I don't speak any Chinese. It's embarrassing. That's way too long to live a place and not speak Chinese. Unless it's like any other country. But in China, you should know Chinese. And in China, they have like over like 100 different languages. But they have the same written language. So sometimes when you're out in China and they don't understand what like you're saying and you don't understand what they're saying, they'll write it down in Chinese characters and then show it to you. And then I would have to look at them and be like, no, I'm also illiterate. I can't read, okay? I am walking around this place. I couldn't read. I was using fabric softener instead of laundry detergent for 6 months. Until someone came in and told me what I was doing. I was like, okay, my clothes smell bad, but they're very soft, so... I kind of just ignored it. I thought that's what it smelled like over here. I was there for so long, I didn't even speak Chinese. There are dogs in China that know more Chinese than I know. You know what I mean? The dogs know. I was a fairly trained dog at best. Like, when people talk to me in Chinese, I looked at them the same way my dog looks at me when I talk to her. Like, people would talk to me every day and I'd just stare at them. And then my eyes would get wide. And I'd tilt my head. I'd give them my paw. And they'd say a word I know, like chicken, and I'd get excited and run in circles. So I was there for 3 years. I was teaching over in China. Not English, don't worry. I teach math and physics, that's my job. I teach math and physics over there, yeah. People don't like math and physics. That's the first thing they want to tell me. When I tell them I'm a math teacher, like it brings up all their trauma and insecurities from high school. Like they look at me and they're like, I hate physics. I'm like, I'm not trying to teach it to you right now. Right? It's too late for you. I don't care. I don't want to teach you physics at all. I bet there are people here that don't like math or physics, right? They're giving me that face. I can see it. People they want to yell at me right now. I can feel it. I don't teach it, you know. I like math, man. I was thinking about why I like math, and I realized the reason I like math is because it has an answer, and you don't know what it is. You got to figure that out yourself. So you like see a math problem, and you're like, okay, what do I do here? And the math is like, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. I'm like, oh, you're not one of these easy subjects, are you, math? You're gonna make me work for it a little bit, you know? It's not like history. I could never do history. That's just gossip. Isn't that what history is? That's what it is. It's just people talking about things that they're like, did you hear what Marie Antoinette said? No, I don't care. I never liked gossip at all. You know how they learn history? They go through your diary. After you die. That's what happens. How embarrassing is that? You die and they go through, like Napoleon, that guy, they went through his diary. They found out he didn't like being short. And then they just named a whole complex after that, and that's what he's known for the rest of the time. That is messed up, man. He wrote that in his diary for nobody to know. And now everyone knows him for that. What was I saying? I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't know. I don't smoke weed anymore, and I realized all my friends are stoners, and it's not very fun to hang out with stoners when you don't smoke weed. Have you tried that? It's terrible. They're just very slow people that get in the way of everything. And the only way to speed them up is with more weed somehow. I don't know how. I don't get how that happened, right? All my stoner friends, they take forever to do anything, and now I just carry around joints with me to speed them up. Like I use them like dog treats. I'm like, come on, stoners. Let's go. And you can't smoke this until you're in the car. Come on. Let's go, stoners. Like, I'd rather hang out with cokeheads than stoners. Cokeheads are way more fun than stoners, right? Cokeheads have cool ideas, they're up all night. Stoners have the dumbest ideas, they never have coke on them. It's like an easy fix for them. But they're different people, stoners and cokeheads, very different drugs. Like, I realized when I was with my stoner friends, they'd smoke weed, and eventually one of them would be like, hey man, we should save the rest of this weed for later. Have you ever heard of cokehead? Say, let's save the rest of this for later. Yes, Encinitas, this is your crowd. This is my crowd. You cokeheads, you know that's never happened ever once in the history of cocaine. When people do coke, they finish it. And then after that, they start calling anybody they've ever talked about cocaine with in their life. You see that girl right there? She knows what I'm talking about. She's laughing very hard. Because that's never happened. People that do coke, when they finish it, they're in the kitchen somewhere in a town they've never been before. They're deep in their contact lists, and then they're hitting people up like, yo man, you remember me? And the guy's like, dude, I was your 6th grade DARE officer. Of course I got cocaine, come on, man. We're all doing it. All right, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys.